Welcome, Cancer. Let's have a look at this new moon in Taurus and see what you can expect for the next 28 days. So this new moon is at 28 degrees Taurus, and for Cancer, that puts the Sun, the Moon, and all the other combinations that are going on in Taurus at the moment into your 11th sector. So here we have, whoops, don't follow me. Here we have, the Sun, Moon, and Taurus here, but also in your 11th sector you have Sun, Moon, Uranus, Mercury, and Jupiter night. Now there's a lot sort of going on there for Taurus, and so there'll be a lot going on for Cancers. There'll be a lot going on relative into your 11th sector, which is your sector of where you work in teams with others. It's relative to your community, whether you out there within the community, but it's also relative to groups of people and friends. So where Leo is about your creative side and about what you can contribute to society at an individual level. The 11th sector, Aquarius, is all about what you can contribute on a collective level, what you can do with others to contribute and help. Now, if that's not relevant for Cancer, what it will be relevant for is a lot to do with, a really busy social time, socially, friendships and connections, and a lot of actual forward growth coming through friendships. So there could be a friend here that you are going to partner up in business with, or you may already have business situations going on with this person, because this is all about business, but it's all in the 11th sector again around friends. So you may even find that you're helping others within setting up businesses as well. So, what really stands out for this chart for Cancer is the first house, which is you have Mars and Venus there. So Mars is making a square to Jupiter. So for your first house and for your 11th house, it sort of sits on the cusp of your 10th, to be honest, too. So for Cancer, this has been you have been in a really good time for your career, but now it's a bit of a time for a bit more leisure and a little bit more social time. But with this square and going into your first sector, there's definitely going to be, a really strong, productive energy. It's a really energetic month where you're going to go, you just want to get on with things. You're going to probably be a lot more physical this month. But with the Jupiter sitting there in the 11th sector, through friendships and connections, you may even come into some sort of agreement or decision together about moving forward, again relative to either business or financial growth. So let's have a look at what the tarot wants to say for Cancer for the next 4 weeks. Looks like I said, a really productive month. Also with Venus, and it's always nice when we have Venus go into our first sector, because it's time when we can, we might make a little bit more effort to beautify our environments, our home, ourselves. It's a time when we feel a lot more social and interactive, and it's just a very lovely space to be in with Venus in the first, because it's like we're able to sort of show our more pleasant side, if you like, our more loving side. So the environment, the first sector, that's all, the environment and how the environment sees you and how you present yourself into the outer world. So Venus means, you're looking pretty attractive and a lovely personality going on. So, that's what Cancer can utilise for the next 4 weeks. So, let's see. So yes, decisions with others, even legal contracts are possible too. Okay, sudden changes for Cancer. Now Cancers are very innovative. Cancer, Aries, the cardinal signs, they like to sort of have their own businesses. They like to run things themselves, and they like to come up with ideas and then utilise their ideas, especially Aries. And Cancer is the same. So what's sort of showing here is sort of like business opportunities or business changes, sudden situations that could come up that you're not expecting. That means like this new cycle, and it does look like Cancer is going to take advantage of this with their ideas and step into something quite new for themselves. So this is great. This is looking really good. Also a great time for Cancer if you're moving into new property, or again, like I said, beautifying the environment or doing renovations around the home situation. So you may be looking at your assets as well if you've got more than one property, and be thinking about where do you want to live. So it's like it's not about moving; it's more about creating more security, either purchasing another property or spending time in another place. Sort of being in between two places, if you like, is quite a possibility while this is going on. So these creative ideas are coming through. Cancers can be quite pedantic. Any sign can be pedantic. There's combinations that go on, but it feels like here it's like doing all the finer little details, if you like, all the little detailing with regards to how everything should look. So again, I've either got business or property. Again, it's a property, it could be renovations or how you're wanting it to be. But again, we've got this sort of really good news, paperwork, legal stuff going on here. So it's like you're sorting out some and going over some and researching some paperwork relative to this new idea. So I think that's relative to signing documents too, legal. So it does look like there might be some concerns over assets and money again, even though it's it's a bit of a contradiction, but it's like Cancer's got quite a bit going on here. But one thing's for sure is they've got a bit of a change coming up, and it's like that I think is going to push Cancer into going to more of a deeper understanding of themselves, looking more. So Cancer doesn't like to go into the emotions as much. Men, I'm talking about, not the woman. But even with the woman, sometimes it's almost like, they've sort of got their hard shell and they don't always expose what they're feeling. They're very good actually at not telling you what's going on for them. But at the same time, Cancers, the females, of course, because they are fully the moon and all about the emotions, they can be very good at expressing that. But it's because they take everything so deep. But I think what's important for Cancer is to understand yourself, not so much about how you express it to others and get others to understand you. It's about understanding yourself, understanding what your needs are, understanding what even just recognizing what it is you really want to do. I think getting out in nature, getting into more of that vibrational energy, it's really important for Cancer to be grounding themselves during this time. But it's also, like you're got a decision here about moving forward into a whole new idea or creation. And it's like once this opportunity is presented, and it does look like something is presented here out of the blue, you're going to, your mind is going to be going for it as far as all the different ideas and, things that can come from that. So in other words, it's like Cancer's looking for more stimulation. They're looking for more utilization of what's inside them, the other areas that they haven't even had the opportunity to utilize or express, and that could be in a more creative way, in a more musical way. If you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed because there seems to be a lot going on here, put on some really nice music, some very relaxing music, because it feels like that's the mood you're in. You're in this space of just wanting to connect to sort of the higher vibrations, if you like. The other thing for Cancer here seems to be excitement over being able to go into a certain area and specialize in a whole new direction. So, we're moving into much easier times. Cancer doesn't really, they're not like the fast movers, but, they are a cardinal sign, so they can pick up an opportunity and run with it when they feel it's right. But generally, Cancer has to think about this for a while. Something comes up quickly. You've got to make your decisions based on impulse. And I feel that the Cancers that are really tuned into their higher knowing, their higher selves, they're going to be able to do this really easily. Because it's going to feel 100% right as well. And I feel like, right, now I can really go down this path, because Cancers are really hard workers, but they want to be enjoying what they're doing. That's going to be a really big, important factor during this time. So I hope you enjoyed that, Cancer, and we'll see you next time.